Cheers. 3,
2,
1. Hey everyone, welcome back to Andy and Jen Talk About Stuff. I'm Andy.
I'm Jen.
And today we're going to talk about stuff. We're going to talk about Thanksgiving and what we're grateful for in 2025. So thanks for coming in to do this today.
Yeah.
I wrote this down into what I like to categorically call the 5 F's of faith, fitness, finances, and fun. So can we just do it that way?
Yep.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
So it's Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Hope that you are with somebody that you love today, as we are as well. And I just thought it'd be nice to share some things because there's a lot that I know we privately talk about that is trial and struggle and like working through stuff, but we should take a moment to celebrate some of the things we're grateful for and thankful for this year. And that's why I wanted to do that today.
Yeah.
All right. So do you want me to go first?
Yes.
In the faith. So the first F is faith. So in the faith category, the first thing I wrote is sabbatical. We took 6 months this year, and I'm so grateful for that time set aside. I'm not going to say apart because we end up being still connected to so many people that we had found ourselves doing church life with anyways.
Yeah.
But set apart in a way where, okay, we're removed from some of those things we had committed to, and really took time to like rest and restore some things.
Yeah. I honestly, that if you're looking at the things I'm most grateful for in this year, it is that the Lord asked us into that time of a 6-month sabbatical. So you guys wouldn't know this, but in April, the Lord said, you're going to take a 6-month sabbatical from everything that you have done with the church walls and just the servant aspect of what that was. And you're going to reconnect with me as a father and with your family as a unit. And in that, it became a really beautiful season of turning inward, and the peace and the joy and the laughter and the community even that was brought back into life that we actually used to do a whole lot, but kind of veered away because of the busyness of life. I'm really thankful for that time that we were given because it definitely helped our family to re-solidify certain things.
Yeah, we have easily spent time independently with at least a dozen families or couples that we've either gone out to dinner with and had long, multi-hour long conversations, invited over to our house to do the same, or gone to other people's house to do the same thing, and spend 2 hours, 3 hours.
We did church.
A whole half day.
we did church the way we are called to in our home.
Yeah, and that's the other kind of attachment to this I wrote was discipling with friends and like talking through things, praying through things, and deepening those relationships, but on the faith level as well, where you can ask questions and talk about things, pray about them, and then have correction where there's correction on both the giving sides, and the receiving, and the receiving, which has been super vital to me this year. So that was my like biggest, greatest faith thing. Yeah. Do you have something that you were thinking about for a faith that you're grateful for this year?
Oh man, there's a lot of things God did this year. I mean, truly, He pulled us into a different level of discomfort in this year. I mean, we've gone through a lot of different seasons and different versions of discomfort, but in the dependency factor of what faith is for the sake of even hoping and praying for a home, like the Lord has been speaking on, we've rented for many years. And in this new season, the belief for a home of our own territory, just trusting for that and believing to get into that. We still know that there's a process to that, but He's been guiding us into that, and that's been fully faith driven. Yeah. And that's a big one for me.
And we're a lot closer now at this point in the year than we were even just a couple of months ago.
Yeah,
so that's been really awesome.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah.
And the refining of well, I guess we can go into that step later, but friendships in faith, like that has been such a huge thing. It all ties together where we have been able to really refine the, Jesus had he had the 12 and then he had his, closest 2s and 3s. And it's those ones where, those are the ones you're going to call at 3:00 in the morning to, we had our handful over last night just doing something fun for nothingness. It was playing puzzles and,
together,
just being together, and the silliness and the allowances that have come from that type of refinement, who we do life with, when we do life with, for the sake of actually doing the deep things with people. I'm really thankful for that, because that's been a faith journey with people as well.
Something else I want to bring up, and these are kind of hand in hand for me too, even though they don't seem on the surface like they are, is this year I committed to do Bible in a year, but in my archaeological Bible, I bought it like maybe a year or two ago, and I had read a different Bible in 2024, and then my 2025 commitment was I'm going to read Bible in a year, but I want to do it in my archaeological Bible. Now this comes, so that's like the first kind of tangible thing, but it goes along with something else, which is a heart thing, which is contentment. And what I think happened in preparation for this conversation today is what I think happened is in my like surface level commitment to read the archaeological Bible, and every page that has a reference, something that was discovered or found that affirms what the Bible says, a location that existed, a people group or a place or whatever. I was like, wow, okay, these places existed hundreds, thousands of years ago. This thing was written how many decades and generations ago? And I'm thinking, wow, am I content in my own life, and that it's worth writing down? And what am I actually leaving behind that may live beyond when I'm here too? And am I even thankful and grateful for those things? And I think that like in this weird, long, roundabout way drove me to the question of what am I even content with? And am I content? And I've had to finally confront that this year in my faith. And that was super good for me, I think.
Yeah, it is. And even just being your wife and walking through that process with you, we've been on different paths of trying to find where our faith is in our walk with the Lord, and our sonship and our daughter, or my daughtership and your sonship with the Lord. And what does that even mean, where you can be content in that relationship alone? It's been interesting to watch that unfold in you and in me, because we've had different pullings on our hearts by the Lord to come into that. So it's been interesting to witness, because we've been together for a very long time, but even in this year alone, I've seen probably the most growth within our marriage, within our individual lives with the Lord. That is one of the things I'm most thankful for too, is because there hasn't been a backing up, there's been a pushing forward.
Yeah. And I think that our rate of like deepening of faith has had different speeds over the years. And even if they're still different now though, I'm not discontent with that. Like I think that's what I realized that I'm trying to say is like, I realized I was like, oh shoot, I've been discontent with all this for a while. I actually now like feel like I'm in a position of contentment.
Yeah.
And like more ease, and okay, I'm going to read that slower, understand that better, or maybe I need to go take a walk with the dogs right now and go figure out what that means to me. Maybe I need to just no, nothing else in my ears, just walk and be kind of thing. And also, I've also found that same space outside too, in our yard that we worked on this year too, in the backyard, and that's been a great place for me to have contentment as well. And I'm feeling much more contentment, especially because I've read about the archaeological findings that support, life was this way and people lived this way and this and that. I'm like, oh man, we have so much to be grateful for. It makes our life awesome.
The faith side of things, I think the one thing I think we actually, because we've had a 6-month sabbatical away from the crazy, we've been busy in a lot of different ways, but in the way of how we would even do church life, what that looked like, removing processes, removing practices, and that type of thing. Nothing against that by any means, but for our family, there was just a need for that disconnect so that we as a family could reconnect. But learning even the different desire for what a sabbatical is. Not just a sabbatical for the sake of time away from the inside of the walls of the church, but more taking a weekly sabbatical. What does that mean to do a Sabbath? Actually, because that's actually a commandment, is to honor the Sabbath. And do we honor the Sabbath? We don't actually in the way that we're intended to, but that's something that, as what I'm thankful for, are the revelations that the Lord has brought to deeper desires. For the sake of even taking sabbatical weekly, the Sabbath weekly, in what rest is for the family.
We've done that
That's a big one.
lot better this year. And it
For sure, but I
and it
want
was
more.
in that window. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, of course. No, I'm just saying like as a reference point from where we had been, like in the busyness of everything.
Totally
and then,
different.
oh, hey, we're going to be on sabbatical. It's going to be 6 months. But in that same window of that 6 months, it's like, oh, we got good at Sabbath a little bit. Now there's more to go, but we got pretty good at it because we're way different now in it than we were prior.
For
and
sure.
I think there's the routine can sometimes mask the disobedience of not following the Sabbath the way it's intended. So
Because there's so much work during the week that, but we don't realize we're actually putting that same work with different lenses onto the weekend when even one of those God rested. He created and he rested. But we go, oh, yeah, but I'm here. I'm just going to get into the garden. It's my time with the Lord. It's my time with the Lord, but I'm also lifting the bags and pulling the weeds and doing all the things. And he goes, rest with me.
It's that tricky thing where he needs me. You're like, yeah,
he does not.
But not all the time.
He does not. He doesn't need me. He invites me. He chooses me.
Yeah.
You know,
that's that mentality, though. That, oh, he needs me to do this. Like,
yeah, he loves me. So I need to honor that love and rest with him. In him. So that's an invitation I'm thankful for, because I feel that as we're coming out of this, whatever this 6-month mark is, it's that deeper invitation into the next level of what is even allowing rest look like, the way he calls us to from these is it Sabbath? Yeah, the Sabbath.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anything else on the faith front before we go on to the next one?
No.
So the next F for me and the 5 F's is family. So faith and family. At the beginning of the year, I'm grateful that you spent time out in Florida and helping care and provide for your sister right before Joshy's wedding. And that was like a celebration thing. Like
That was really great.
Our first nephew of all like the, cousins of our kids, like he got married. Avery is wonderful.
Yeah.
And that was a big family win for us this year. That was the first thing I wrote down there. Just kind of chronologically, I was thinking about it. I'm like, oh, that was like the beginning of the year. So
yeah,
that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was a blessing for me on many fronts, because I don't get to spend that much time with my sister and my brother and my, our nephews and our niece on that side. And then obviously with Avery and her family, getting to actually take a month away from our daily life and then really spend time with my parents that are out there, and my sister, and preparing for our first family, wedding of our kids' crew. It was so beautiful.
Crazy.
I really did enjoy that. That was such a gift, and getting to spend time with our niece in ways that I've never been able to spend time with her was really, really special.
I remember sitting at the wedding, and we were at the, it's you and Eileen and Chris, and it's Steph and Mark, and we're there. I'm like, oh, we're the aunt and uncle table now. Yeah. I was like, oh shoot, this whole new chapter of life.
We're the
like,
old ones.
The door has been busted open, and here we are. I remember, it's in some ways it kind of still feels like we got married yesterday too. And I'm like, oh yeah, there's your dad and your mom and your uncles and your aunts, and like that was the aunts and uncle table. Like now we're the aunt and uncle table. So I was like, oh shoot.
Even cooler though is our aunts and uncles came.
They were there too, yeah.
So our nephew had his great aunts and uncles and his aunts and uncles, and so it was a really special thing. That time was awesome.
Yeah, that was cool. And then the other thing I wrote down, just as far as family gratitude, was Jillian graduating high school and Kennedy finishing high school as well. That was good. Those are good milestones. I mean, finishing high school is an accomplishment. There's many paths that lead from high school, but for the amount of work that they individually had to do and in much different ways and in different systems, I'm very proud of both of them, but that was a great win to go to like the graduations and really, celebrate the milestone of finishing high school. Yeah.
And I think on the other side of that, yes, high school graduation, that's huge. But I think for the season that we're in when it comes to raising young adults, what a cool thing it is to see all of these kids step into their own direction and be able to pray them through into that direction. They're all so different and beautifully unique. And I am really grateful that we have been allowed to come alongside them as they continue to try and find their footing and when they land on something, the excitement that comes with that, I'm really thankful for this season. And then even Claire, our youngest, deciding, you know what, I'm going to come out of public school and go back into homeschool. I tried high school this way, and finding where there's family freedom and in that time we get together, and how we use that time, where for her, it was important to really come back into that connection. And it's also been a difficult transition that I'm proud of her for working through that, different hiccups that came with that.
Yeah.
So, and I'm really proud of her for that.
Building some resilience along the way. Some of it unintended, but nonetheless,
but still,
like, okay, there's going to be unintended crap that happens in your life too. Right. It's like, you're going to have to figure out how to like grind that through and like sort it out, because not everything goes the way you expect it every day.
But on the other side too, where I'm learning to let certain things go in the way of, I have to be fully hands-on here with the kids, or I have to be fully focusing on where the Lord's like, hey, so I need you to write music again. Hey, so I need you to get into the studio. Hey, I need you to get back into the things that you've taken your hands off for quite a few years because you've been so hands-on with the kids. In this season, the Lord's calling me into more in the workplace and in the, building the career back up, being able to trust that he's got the kids and he's got me and he's got you. And that's been a fun ride.
It's been a rebalancing this year. Yeah. 100% rebalancing, which has been good too.
Yeah.
I have another family thing that I want to mention. Earlier in the year, my mom had told me that she had cancer, right, to follow up with yours as well. So that was a 1-2 punch for me on the end of this table. But getting to go and spend that time when my mom had her surgery and then the initial recovery, it was nice to be with my mom and dad. Even if I didn't have a lot of like things I could do for her, I just being there, I think was good for me too. Yeah. Because it's like the other choice is, well, I could just be at home dwelling about it. Sure. Or I could be at home praying about it too, but not just dwelling, but like thinking about it. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to go there. So thank you for just shooing me out the door, kind of, as I was also like, hey, I want to go. So it was kind of a both and, but it was like I was pulling myself out and you're pushing me. And I appreciate that. And I enjoyed that time with them. And I'm glad that I got to be there. And I appreciate you. I don't have to think about any of the things back here when I'm over there tending to being with mom and dad. And I'm so grateful for that.
I even through the valleys, whether it's cancer or, spinal injury or whatever it has been, for the sake of different familial aid that needed to be given, I look at those things, and it also reminds me I'm really grateful for the fact that God doesn't cause those things, but God will use those things to build strength and goodness within those things, and even reconnection points and allowances for, where we can get so busy in our day-to-day that we forget to connect with our family that's out of state in a way that should be a lot more intentional. And it has been such a beautiful thing that God has allowed to be used to bring reconnection. And everybody's independent. We have very independent family members. We are very independent. We are self-sufficient on so many levels that I think sometimes we forget to allow each other to be family or invite each other in as family. And in these situations where health has been something that has been hit, I have really appreciated on the family side a different reconnection that has come from those trials of health issues and allowances for the sake of being servants for family. You with your family, me with my family, and family that has stepped in for us over the years. That is a big thing where we can look at those things and go, dang, why is this happening? This sucks. And God goes, it did. I didn't cause it. I'm allowing it. But watch the strength, watch the joy, watch the peace, watch the reconciliations, the things that have been maybe loosey-goosey that need to be tightened up. Watch what I do through that. As, I think a lot of the times we can go, why is God allowing this? This sucks. Why would he do that? If he's such a good father, he is a good father. We live in a fallen world and disease happens because of that, whatever. He uses all things to help us strengthen and help us grow in connection. And that is one of my biggest takeaways. I'm really thankful for that. Not that those things happened, but that because they did,
the good that can come from it.
The good came, yeah.
You know, it's that
a lot of good comes from it.
You drive by that part of the scorched earth that is all burned down, and then about another season or two later, it's like brand new trees and shrubs and bushes and plants are there again. Like, oh, well,
fire has to happen for germination to, happen as well.
I want to mention something else that was more kind of leaning into like the summer time. We had the pleasure of having Riker come out.
Yes, that was awesome.
Nate come out with Tim and Taylor, and so that was like a cool week where there's like these overlapping visits from one side of the family and the other side. And it was Riker's first like solo trip to come and hang out with us and be with his cousins, because that window's closing. And that's, again, like this more like family part is like, I'm grateful that even if we're doing it in this stage of life where our girls are getting much older and he's just about to finish like middle school, they're still hangoutable.
Yeah.
And they do hang out.
That's a real word, you guys.
Yeah. And it was fun. And you did a great job like creating activities and events for everyone to do, and taking the hike and going down to Comic-Con and walking around and having dinner at the house and playing games and doing silly things and watching movies. Like
we staycationed really well.
We'd staycation really well, but it was like one of those summers that we would describe when we were kids. We hung out with our cousins and we played and we did all this cool stuff, and it like locked in this whole like, wow, that was a great summer.
Yeah.
And I'm just so glad that we did that. That was a fun little family gratitude for me to write down and remember this year. Yeah. So do you want to continue? Anything else in family, or want to continue?
No, go ahead.
All right. Well, the other category is fitness, which might be a little short for me on this one. So the next F, faith, family, fitness, fitness. I just wrote dog walks. The dogs need to walk every day, and I think I'm just now one of the dogs. I think I need to walk every day. not because of like the pudginess. I think Andy just needs a walk. If he just work some of that fresh off, maybe he's a little less intense. No argument. Okay. That'll be an affirmative. The time with the walking is very good for me. And it's not just, yes, I'm saying it's a fitness element. It's certainly not making me skinnier, but I think it's actually working.
Neither is the ice cream.
Neither is the ice cream or the other foods and drinks. I'm the reason I wrote that in fitness is because it's like my mental fitness as well. It's been good to like to do that again and to like make myself do that. Because there's days I'm like, I don't want to go do this, but I know that when I do this, it's going to be better for me and better for everyone around me. And so in a weird way, having the dogs draws me out into that space as well. I know very few people that just wake up and go, I just want to go work out today. That's not me. And because that's not me, having something that requires that of me has been helpful. So I am grateful for that. Yeah. Even though it's a couple
I'm going to remind you, you're grateful.
No, that's what I'm saying.
When the graping is
saying
happening.
Right now. Oh no, I'll put that hood over my head and go, ugh. Come on, George, let's go, Luna.
Yeah.
But we go, and sometimes it works better than others. I'll put it that way.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think it's easy to forget how important it is for us to focus on fitness, and we are his temple. And if we do not honor his temple with everything that we eat, and granted, we are not, we have fun, but
we like food.
We love food. Like is not a word. Love is the word. But I have, that is a this year thing as well. I'm really, really grateful for the refining of, I know for my body, physical therapy has been a huge thing on a daily. If I don't function. And food, changing that to really make sure. Last year was really good for me on that too, but this year has been more of a kind of just a refining process of that for how I eat, what I eat, when I eat, and what that does to my mental game, because all of it's impacted by what my exercise is, what my commitment to food is, and how I pray my family into the process with me, because let's be real, we have sugar addicts in our house like nobody's business. And so coming into that understanding of how do I cook for them and where it will be enjoyed, because we do love food so much. You've
been great at that. I am totally interrupting you because you've been way great at that. Like, you're being super humble about this, but you're like in your sophomore season of a brand new like food life and fitness life. And I'm not saying like you had just your freshman year, but like, look, we had this complete like fork in the road when you got diagnosed with cancer, and like everything changed. You're like, I'm stopping this, I'm starting this. And then you went like super hard. You made all these corrections and changes. And then as you've progressed, you've made all these other additions to our cabinet and our refrigerator that are good choices for me and the girls, and new ways to make things. And even having old things we used to make a different way, but in a more healthy way that we still enjoy and taste just as good, if not better, by doing it the new way. So I'm sorry I interrupted you. I'm also not sorry, because you're understating how big of a move that was in the fitness part of our entire family's been able to benefit from.
It is probably one of the biggest challenges I've faced as a mom. And I'm not just talking about these last 2 years. I'm talking about from when they're babies on up, because we get so comfortable with the things that are easy. And, let's just throw the chicken nuggets in. They're not saying that's bad, but, there are different versions where that can be the norm. Let's throw the ease for the sake of time into the play, rather than our oldest, Caitlin, actually said it this way recently. I was grocery shopping and I didn't realize how much I had become the family cook, which I enjoy. It's not something that I took on as an obligation for the sake of feeling like, well, I'm a stay-at-home mom and that's my job, more than I feel like it's this new season of refinement for how our girls need to learn to cook, how you need to learn to cook, because we've done things through the busyness of life that need to be brought back to you. Caitlin said, we had just gone shopping and we were preparing for a gathering of sorts. And I said, I don't have anything quick to make. She goes, or that to just pop in the oven. And she goes, no, Mom, we're a house of ingredients. We're not a house of ease. And I really was kind of taken aback by that, because I didn't realize how much I set myself up for that. But on the other hand, I also am very appreciative of the fact that I'm now kind of forced into the version of cooking and even growing our food on different levels, and now trying to learn different processes of growing our own meat supplies. And we haven't touched on that fully yet, but we're learning about that. And I think it's rattled me in a really good way of discomfort, where it takes more intentionality of freezer prep and just how I process even when I make things and what I'm making. How long am I going to get out of this? What types of usages are we going to do with this specific thing? Because it's going to take me this many hours to produce, this many days to produce, whatever, that I now have to go. I can't just go to McDonald's. I can, but that's not going to benefit the course that I'm on.
Yeah.
And what the girls are in as young, well, Claire's 16 and then, I have 18 and 20. How do I actually foster that moving forward where that's solidified for them, where we're not just easy? Sometimes easy is great. We had Lolitas yesterday. Love it. But when it really comes to our normal everyday life for the fitness side of it, I'm really grateful that even with something as small as learning to make a pumpkin spice smoothie, but every single ingredient I use is healthy. And I was doing it because I grew pumpkins, because I wanted to do something that was good for my gut differently, and froze them in ice cubes, and now I make smoothie. So there's a lot of different things that in the intentionality part of creating the ingredients house. It's hard work because it's hard work, and that's okay. It's uncomfortable because we're undoing what we created in habits that were not healthy, now are taking more intentionality. I'm thankful for the intentionality about that.
I have another thing I wanted to share that I was thinking of, and it's pretty practical and it is pretty surfacey, which is space and equipment. We cleared out more space again in our other little garage there, which makes a treadmill available for all the girls all the time. The inversion table's there. Plus we have a little bench and some light weights, which is good. And then the other thing I was going to mention is the paddle boards. Again, it's space and it's space and it's equipment. Being able to go out and hit the water whenever you want with the girls, or whichever grouping of and pairings of kids can go out, or groups of friends of ours. Like, that's been really good too this year. Again, it's not a regular routinized thing, but it's there when we want to. So we live close enough to the water where it's awesome to go out there, and then we have stuff at home if we want to do stuff at home, and then even the hikes, like going to Cowles Mountain or getting to Mount Miguel over here, and it's like all those things I think have been good for us, even in the irregularity of the planning of them. I think they have definitely benefited the overall health and well-being of our household and our family.
And a different appreciation for where we live, I think, because, you can get so caught up in the fact, and for us, it's San Diego, and, people pay thousands of dollars every single year to come visit here, and we can get so used to and comfortable within the space that we take for granted on a regular basis, that this year specifically has been such a big drive for me and the girls when we have that time, and you when you're able to join us, making sure we're actually getting to know where we live and take advantage of this incredible place. Like, I understand there's a whole lot of nonsense that, comes with the cost of living here and whatever, but it's such a beautiful place that we live, that finding a different appreciation and learning new places. We've lived here all our lives, and there are so many things I've not explored yet. And that with family has been such, and family and fitness have come together in that, where finding that combination of nature pursuit has really given a different allowance and joy. For joy, really, because of that.
Anything else on the fitness front before we go to the next F? All right, the next F is our finances. So faith, family, fitness, now we are at finances. So the first thing I wrote was, at least for the business part that everyone's witnessing right now, is this is technically our third year of Cruz Productions. The third year for most businesses is a very critical year. You're either going to make it or break it. And we made it this year. Our finances were much more consistent in 2025 than they had been in the prior years. Some of the pressures that were upon us have certainly changed as well. But the consistency of the studio, having it be in the way it is, has 100% contributed to the ability for us to receive referrals, host other shows here. We're at up to 14 different shows now at this place. And financially for us, that means a lot because of the other thing, which is we've been able to contribute to causes and to people who needed money when we actually had extra to give. And that was nice to be in that position where certain efforts or certain circumstances for some of our friends, they just needed some money or needed a thing or two, and we were able to help do that. And I'm very proud of that this year, and I'm grateful that we were able to do that.
Yeah, for sure. It's been a refinement process for our financial health. Sorry, I don't know what that is, bug. It likes me. It's been a really big pivot, I think, that we've taken this year in regards to the how and why we do certain things in our finances, debt payment, paying down debt. That's probably a better way of saying it, in ways that we haven't had as much diligence or focus to in the past. That has been a big one this year, and I'm really thankful for that and very proud of you for that, because I know that's been something that has it's been a huge desire for me and for both of us to actually come into a different level of intentionality there. I'm proud of that. I'm thankful for that. The other side of it is where I look at how Cruz Productions we have been more intentional with having healthier conversations, truly, because this has been something that has been a very big thorn, and I know my side that has led to your side when it comes to what jobs are even taken. Why are we taking certain jobs if they don't align with what the Lord called us to for Cruz Productions? And then trusting by faith, being able to combine those things, trusting that the Lord is going to bring the jobs that are going to be healthy to provide in a way that is not just, oh, it's money coming in, take it. No, if that's not aligned with his purposes for our lives, it is not going to provide well for us. And it's not going to keep us on that path. So I'm very proud of you for allowing me to have those conversations, because as I pray over everything that comes in, that's my job as a helpmate. I may not be in this studio all the time with you. I may not be going out onto the shoots with you, but I'm backing you as your helpmate. And I'm listening to the Lord say, hey, that's not something we partner with. And you have been more receptive this year to say, okay, I'm going to take my hands off of that. And I really appreciate that, because that has been a point of contention for us over many years in our marriage, where it's just like, well, it's a job. It's going to feed our family. And God's going, yeah, but that's not from me. And it's not going to have the favor and the oil to it that you think it's going to have just because it's paying the bills. I've got other work over here. If you trust me by faith, that's going to pay. Not only going to pay in a bigger way, it's going to show me that you can trust me to give you the things that are actually healthy for your family.
And on the other side of that, I think at large, the public has trusted us too. And then that has resulted in people who, whether they speak it overtly or they end up revealing it later, are these people of faith who are like, oh, I need to get this message out. I've been called or drawn into this space.
Right.
I've been looking for a place like this where I could convey these messages.
Right.
And that's actually part of how our scale even happened this year, was because of that. Some intentionally and some very unintentionally, which I'm like, oh, okay, I see the hand at work, right?
Yeah.
And that's been very helpful. It's created a lot more consistency this year than it has in the prior years. But again, when you're like building something brand new, even though making videos hasn't been new, we've been making videos for other businesses for a long time for other reasons. Us having this space and building it this specific way,
the purpose has been different.
It's been awesome. And the other part of the finances I wrote down is restarting our investment account.
Yeah.
Something we had before, and then we had to use that to pay off things. And it's like, now that we have that re-going and that habit and that muscle being flexed every single month, that's been useful. And I'm very grateful for that as well. And yeah, there's a little tug of war in finances. There's cash flow every single day. Oh, this money's coming in. This is when it's going to clear. That needs to be paid over there, but we need to save over here. We need to invest over there. Okay. So then daily doing that has really helped create that discipline of like being focused on the treasure every day, not obsessing about the treasure every day, but learning how to be attentive to it without being obsessive and overrun by it.
Right.
So that I think has been one of the biggest things that's changed for me in the whole topic of finances, is learning that daily cash flow, weekly cash flow, to make sure we're properly managing both sides of the house, the business house and the house.
The health being driven towards the give, save, pay, play. And that has been a good refinement. That's actually a funny way to say it. Yeah. But it's been really good to see where is God asking us to give? What is he asking us to save? Obviously pay the things. And then where is he asking us to be intentional about play? And how do we fund those things? And instead of just treating them as a luxury that we can't afford, but really being intentional, especially as our kids are at the age that they're at, is taking that intentionality of focus in finance to make sure that we are enjoying time with our kids, with the little things and the big things, with taking trips to states, like we get to go see your parents, and we get to go see my family in Florida, and, your sister, and making sure that those things happen on purpose and are planned on purpose so that we can continue growing all aspects of health and family.
Anything else in the finance category for you? All right, then our last category in the 5 F's of faith, family, fitness, finances, and fun is fun. So fun. One of the funnest things that I'm grateful for this year was our backyard. Like the overarching theme of our backyard. It is awesome. I love being back there. That might sound super silly to people. I don't know what your backyard looks like. Our backyard is awesome. You've done such a good job of planting stuff everywhere that brings life and vitality. And I'm just going to rattle off a couple things real quick. So first, we have fruits and vegetables in our yard that we actually pick and eat from. We have herbs in our yard that we use. You built a butterfly garden and a pollination area that helped pollinate all the plants. So we have all this amazing stuff. Then we found together all these items and stuff to make a fire ring and a fire pit that has gravel and has tree trunk stumps to sit on. So we have like a gathering area around a fire.
Yeah.
And then you found this like massive iron tub for free that is now our pond that Caitlin has helped put fish in, and we've got rock that goes around it, and we've done all this just this year. Yeah. And that was a lot of fun for me. That sounds like a weird fun thing, like, oh, it's not jet skiing. No, it's not jet skiing. It's our yard. I have had so much fun building the yard and then also enjoying the yard.
It really, I think, offer up if you don't use it.
Offer up Facebook Marketplace. Built that whole
we
thing.
have found, in fact, the majority of what we found was free. People were just changing their own yards and discarding their own, supply, whatever product of whether it was rock or
the bricks came that way.
The bricks came that way.
Yeah.
Like finding the resources that can help us build something on a low budget to none has been amazing. And even just listening to the things that you guys want to participate in and really trying to create a space that gives the family opportunity to hang out differently, especially with our summers, because San Diego summers are amazing, and utilizing the outdoors has been so much fun. And it's created even more space in the house for the sake of friendships that have come over. And that backyard has had many purposes, and I'm really grateful for it. I'm grateful for all aspects of it. The time has been the best part, though.
Yeah, and that's why I said it's fun. It's fun to have a nice yard. And when we had moved to this place, there was nothing. There was nothing that was growing and fruitful there. And it's
small, like for a backyard. It's a small space.
It is small, but yes. And what's super crazy is like last time I counted all the different variety, there's like 25 different things in our yard. And that's not, I don't mean different plants. I mean, 25 things that are consumable. Sure. That's a lot in that little space.
It is. But I think that's been in part of the fun. It's like trying to figure out a different way to be creative with a small space. How do we grow up? How do we, combine plants? How do we, bring in space where we can do the barbecue on the fire pit? And, it worked out. Sometimes it worked out. It didn't others. But the time that we got as a family and the allowance that we get for the sake of pulling from that place it's created a lot of fun.
And we had 2 new things in the yard. It was probably more than 2. I'm thinking of 2 right now. Pumpkin, like you mentioned earlier in the show. Pumpkins this year, which is awesome pumpkin harvest. And then the pumpkin seeds that you made from that was like, they were so good and very flavorful. And the other thing was the tomatillos to make green salsa.
Sure.
Like that was, you're all, oh, sure, yeah. No, that was awesome.
It was neat. Yeah, it was neat.
I loved that.
Which even from those harvests, we were able to pull a whole lot of freezer prep. I still have those things, and that was from the summertime.
Yeah.
That are in the freezer, and I use them steadily, but we got so much from them that it created, months of food.
Yeah.
And I really enjoy that.
Yeah. Well, I have another couple things I put on the fun category for me. One of them was earlier in the year, I went camping with Kevin, and we went out to like East County and like to like a dry camping spot. And that was awesome for about 48 hours.
Do it again and it was longer.
You come back super dirty and smelly. It was rad. It was a beautiful time in the spring, and we had to start fire. We had to eat what we brought, and there was no running water, there was no bathroom, and there was no electricity. And that was a great time to just really kind of have separation and some time away, but close enough where it's like not multiple hours out in the woods. But also to go, you know what? I have so many things I rely on every day that make my life easy. And I'm still okay with doing it this way if I had to. Like if I absolutely had to do that, because it was still fun and it reminded me of like growing up and camping like all the time. Yeah. And we don't do it as much now, but like I totally dig that. I don't care about wearing the same clothes for 2 days straight and coming home stinking to high heaven.
And I'm grateful that not only now, I'm not a camper. I hate camping. I think it's terrible on every front. To those who do it, more power to you, but I don't want to sleep on the hard floor. And no, in Jesus' name. So he loves it. And I didn't have to do it with him. So for me, I'm super grateful that you find joy and you have friends that find joy in doing that with you, because you came back happy. And for your wife's perspective, go do the things that bring you joy that don't bring me joy, and have fun with them. But it was a good dude thing. I know girls like camping. I'm not saying they don't. I don't. But for you, I was really happy to see that type of thing filled you and made you come back with peace and just this release of fun. Now, I love the outdoors and I love doing all that things, but give me a hotel room all day long. You go do you, man.
Well, something else I want to mention that was more recent is we took a trip to Idaho, and we got to go spend an extended weekend with Jason and Kat, and that was awesome, staying at their place, the Chateau Godino, as they call it. I tried to leave a review on Google, and it's not listed, so I couldn't do that. But
don't look it up. It's not a real thing.
It's not a real thing. Yeah, no, that's what I said. It's not on Google. They call it that, and I think I'm going to have to make a profile. Anyways, it was awesome because we got to get away by ourselves, and it was the first time we had gone away this year together. And that was nice because the girls are an age where they can stay by themselves. And we still, literally everyone else they know in San Diego is here, except for us at that time. And we got to go and spend a weekend with them and retreat and kind of escape. And it was an awesome, awesome reward to have kind of after, it's almost here at the end of the year. And it was like, that was a nice retreat. We got to go horseback riding, which I loved and had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Our trail walk was nice. Our dinners, our breakfasts and lunches and our conversations
Chef
was awesome.
Godino, Jason.
Oh, Jason. Yeah, man.
You are wicked, man.
If you could just cook every day with you, like you guys both cook. Anyways, yeah,
I'd be
good.
fine.
It was good eating. It was good eating, but I enjoyed our time together.
Rest. It was good rest.
A lot of rest and in a beautiful place, and
good friends.
It was easy to. It was just easy to be there.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of fun for me.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, and putting up the nut house. Oh my gosh, this is.
Wait, and it's predator. It's
The
predator
best.
safe.
It's predator
How do
proof.
they get in it? They get in through there, but there's stuff in it.
So what's happening right
Sending
now?
them to their deaths. I'm sending them to their
No,
deaths.
you're giving them a house of protection.
Well, yeah, but they run across the fence to get to the food.
Yeah, but they have a safe box. Okay, so Andy is putting in the nut house for the squirrels. Okay.
The squirrel. Cat's.
You got to put pictures.
Cat's
up for
freaking
that one.
squirrel house on her tree that she's so excited. She literally texts this morning. Texted now that the main squirrel now has a squirrel mate, and she's saying that they're.
I didn't see that yet.
Oh, there's some heavy flirting
It's
going
cool.
on
It's
in
cool.
that.
It's cool. We're gonna leave that. This is
squirrel
PG.
house. No, that's still PG. The other thing I wanted to mention was I think that this year we spent a lot more time with Steph and Mark.
Yes.
And we had going out for dinner, coming home and just staying for dinner, staying in, doing movie days together, hanging out. I've really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
And that has been in a greater concentration this year than it has been in previous years. I think because of a culmination of a lot of things, our age and stage of life, stuff that was going on, stuff that they've been working on, the projects and things in their careers and their life personally as well. And I really enjoyed the time that we have been able to spend with them this year.
Yeah,
It's been a
really
different
nice.
level, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Even to that, like if we're looking at like all of these different things, I really do appreciate we're closing out on fun, but fun is so wide when you think of how we can appreciate the allowances of relationship. And, the Bible says we mourn together and we celebrate together. And even in that, like there have been situations within our family where we've gotten to be there through the loss of things as well. And that's not necessarily fun, but it really, truly is so special to be able to walk through those things and be a shoulder, be an aid, be allowed into just processing through those things, whether it's cancer or death or just financial struggle or whatever. I know we have friends that are really going through it right now and in really, really hard ways. We have been allowed into those really intimate circumstances with people that it honestly blesses us to be able to be that for somebody, because we've definitely been recipients of that over many years of our marriage and lifetime. But it just in this specific year, there's been a whole lot of ups and downs that we have been allowed into. And I truly treasure every single one of those life circumstances that we've been allowed to come alongside those people with, whether it's family or friends. We've been trusted, And I'm thankful for that probably more than anything. The time with our girls, the time with each other, and the time with friends that have allowed us and chosen us to get to do life with. We've had game nights with people that we haven't connected with in a long time, and that's rekindled certain things. Like the fun has come in many different ways through many different conversations and many different versions of play.
Yeah.
I'm so thankful for that this year.
And there are a lot of unmentioned moments and unmentioned relationships and friendships. But that continuity of being able to do that this year has kind of overarching created a lot of fun in our life. And I mean, look, we've talked about it on the show in previous episodes. Like 2023 was really hard. 2024 was super hard. And we've come out of these 2 years and it's not like, oh yeah, well then your next one should be easy. It's not guaranteed. That's not a foregone conclusion, but we've been able to enjoy a 2025 that certainly looked a lot different than 2023 and 2024. And I think so grateful for that.
With that too, like going back to contentment, like where that has really been a pursuit this year, even looking at the past years, this year has been actually very hard in many different ways. But that's just because we've allowed the Lord to make us uncomfortable and to remove certain things and get used to new versions of healthy habits and undo unhealthy habits. And we're still undoing unhealthy habits because they take a minute to refine. But all of the growth and the strengthening that's come from that has been really, really good and actually fun to see at the end of the year how far we've grown from the beginning of the year, literally, because even the fires that hit at the very beginning of the year, we're sitting here going, okay, that it got pretty close to, and obviously our house wasn't threatened, but it really got up to like a mile, probably,
it was
or
just
2
on
miles.
The other side of this wall, pretty close.
Yeah,
by.
like the other side of the lake.
Yeah.
Watching our community kind of shift from the beginning of the year on, it's consistently just been, okay, we're going to stretch you. Okay, I'm going to see if you trust me here. Okay, I'm going to ask you to give up this and trust that I'm going to bring in something that I actually meant for you to go to. You know, I was talking to a couple of the girls this morning. It was really sweet. One of our daughters, Jillian, she has a friend over right now that came back from Bible college, and so sweet seeing the reconnection happen, but just the revelations that are coming and all of the things that the Lord's been speaking on this year of new wineskins and new wine, and what is of the old cannot stay or it will burst. And seeing that refinement process happen where you have to get comfortable with letting him burn away the old things. It hurts because it's a burning, but when you let him sow those new things into your life, man, there's so much goodness that comes from it. And I was listening to the girls talk and how much their appreciation has been of even just this last 6 months of this year, how much change and strengthening and growth and uncomfortableness, but good uncomfortableness, has been a great challenge into this new season of their lives. And it's been very true for ours. So it's been good.
Anything else you want to mention in the fun category? Because I have one last thing, but I don't want to say it before you have a chance to.
No, go ahead.
Okay. My last thing is this show. This has been a lot of fun. Doing Andy and Jen talk about stuff again, dusting off kind of the old idea, reintroducing it in this new way. Even in the way we've done our initial shows and even the gaps in between them. Like, I don't care about that stuff. I'm having fun doing these conversations with you. I'm having fun letting these moments and these conversations exist in perpetuity. So our girls can always come back and rewatch them. I think there's something to be said, and there's great value in being able to look back at your parents, or maybe someday grandparents, looking at us and go, oh, this is what they were talking about then.
Sure.
Or, oh, this is how that was at that point in life and culture and in their life and as in the family and all that. It's been a lot of fun for me to do this with you. And Caitlin has been editing it all. And so it's been fun in that sense as well. So thank you.
Yeah. And I am thankful for the way that this has allowed us, actually, because I know for me, and there are moments for you, you can see where it was hard to actually get into the testimony aspect of it. Some of the things that we've dealt with, quote unquote, over the years and whether it was moments of forgiveness or just deep trial, being able to walk through those testimonies and process through those things and even pray through what we're supposed to share and what we're not supposed to share, going through those types of things and letting that be the infancy and the catapult into what the next is. Because in this new year, I really am seeing the Lord broaden that. And in fact, we will be recording the next episode with Caitlin and with her boyfriend, Tim. And, whatever Holy Spirit wants to reveal in that, like inviting others. We've got several different people lined up that are going to join us in the Andy and Jen Talk About Things and talk about stuff. With sometimes it will be just me with friends, Andy with friends, or all of us together. What kinds of stories the Lord wants us to open up into the coming new year, how that is going to really open up different testimonies that will bring learning and strengthening and faith through those things too. I'm excited about that. We've got some really great friends with some great testimonies, and our daughters our daughters have a lot to share as well. They've experienced a whole lot.
Yeah. Well, I'm so grateful for this Thanksgiving. Thank you for all the things that have made this year awesome.
Same.
And I'm glad to even share these things. Like we don't have to share these things. I just felt compelled that we can share this to people that have tuned in this year, even if it's just a handful of folks. My encouragement would be if you are unsure of the things that you are grateful for this year, go take a walk. Like, go look at your calendar.
Yeah.
Go look at the things that you did and who you saw, who you talked to. Look at who texted you the most.
Yeah.
Look at who you called the most and reached out to. Look who was DMing you. And, actually find contentment in the things that we might overlook often because they're not crazy, grandiose, big and sexy, wild and expensive, and all this lavish stuff. Just take a minute for yourself somehow. It doesn't have to be a walk. You could be sitting there with a cup of coffee or tea with some peaceful music on. Just take reflection, grab a moment, and be honest about what you are truly grateful for, and then let that carry you into what you're creating in the rest of the year to set up a great 2026.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a line from Letters to Juliet that I love, and the older woman, Claire, is talking to her grandson, and he's saying, look what you could have had if you just came at this point in your life to this section. And he said, you could have skipped all the messy bits. And she said, life is the messy bits. And I love that, because all of the things that we've been allowed to go through to get us to this point has been a bunch of messy bits. But there's been a lot of laughter, even through the tears. And sorry, I'm really grateful. I'm really grateful for how far we've come.
It's been a good year, Jen.
Yeah.
It's probably one of our best years yet.
Yeah. So thank you for coming alongside me and letting me come alongside you.
Yeah.
In this year.
I love you and I treasure
you too.
you. And I'm so glad that we did this today.
Yeah.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you all for listening. Happy Thanksgiving to you. And the day after Thanksgiving, DM me about fitness, okay? Because I'm sure I'm going to be over here on turkey hangover.
I'm going to put you on.
Mashed potatoes.
Okay, cool.
You're making loaded mashed potatoes?
Yeah, but also.
Oh, shoot. We're in trouble.
You enjoy that meal.
I'm busted, you guys.
Yes, you are. Miguel, Elias, and all of you Jiu-Jitsu friends who I have been putting on dude on blast for years, because he used to. We're going to go back to your little dog walks, fitness friend. Andy.
You just call me fitness friend?
Fitness friend.
Oh my God.
We're going to go back to your dog walks. My husband I love him so dearly, but I'm going to put all of you people as accountabilities, because the intensity level that my beautiful friend here walks in on a daily basis without an outlet is special. And it was God-given. But you guys who are jiu-jitsu people,
oh God,
I'm asking you to call him to task and make him go with you this year. Allie to Harry, you're on this too. With
Oh my! Can you just stop with all the names? Everybody knows. Oh, geez.
We've been having those conversations. Bring him to task, because the fun and the joy that comes out of my husband when he actually gives way to that route is so much. I love it. It is good, even though he comes back beat up and bruised up.
Yeah, I'm not always having fun getting choked out. I like choking out. I don't like getting choked out.
I know.
That sucks.
But the exertion that comes from all of these dudes, and you come back so happy. That's my main point. You actually, boys are so weird, you guys. That's another topic. But
it's a whole different show. Apparently, if you're watching this on Thanksgiving, the call to action is Andy in the fitness category needs to go to the mat again.
Yes.
Thank you so much for the publicity and the advocacy and promotion that other people who I call friends kick my ass.
Yes, but you love it. And that is honestly the main, you come back like legitimately.
I do. I think there's something wrong with me, you guys. There's something wrong with me.
It's a good thing. Papa
must think there's something wrong with my buddies too. They like it. So
I didn't say there was wrong.
I know, but there's something wrong with y'all too.
Beautiful to see how your God-given strength and just need for that exertion.
Yeah.
And I'm not even going to say manly exertion. I know there are women who love that as well. But for you specifically, and for guys like you, you need that type of outlet, and it's so good for you. And you come back not only more equipped to be able to be the protector of the family. You laugh, but that's a true
I'm not
thing.
laughing. I'm thinking what I'm going to say. I already know what.
But it's for you to be able to come in with that level. When you're able to get that exertion out, you come back so peaceful. So you know who you are. Tackle him.
Jen,
literally.
What a great priming for the fitness gratitude for 2026.
Yes.
Thank you very much for setting that up on a
Yes, that's legitimately, and it's, hey, start December.
Cheers,
What's with this 2026? Let's go, man.
Okay, we should probably end. Y'all, thanks for watching.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Later.